Hello everybody. I am Maham and we're going to be talking about RapidAPI Client, the Visual Studio Code extension. RapidAPI introduced a VS Code extension called RapidAPI Client to help you build, consume, and test your APIs without leaving your code editor. It is full of exciting features that can help users look at the API response, browse through it, and even generate API calling code snippets. Before we start, go ahead and sign up to RapidAPI account for free. For that, you need to type rapidapi.com in your search bar and here in the top right corner, click sign up. You can sign up to your RapidAPI account either by providing a username or work email and password, or you can even sign up with Google, your GitHub profile or Facebook account. I'm going to sign up with Google. After you sign up, you can get access to RapidAPI Studio that houses different RapidAPI products into a single platform to provide an integrated user experience to build, consume, and govern APIs. Here in RapidAPI Studio, you can navigate back to RapidAPI Hub, where you can discover and connect to thousands of APIs and other sections of RapidAPI. Also, go and follow RapidAPI's Twitter account, this is the Twitter handle, to get the developer tips from time to time. Here, at Visual Studio Marketplace, there are around more than 50,000 active installs and almost a million requests made by developers. It's already viral and developers are loving it. In this course, I'll be explaining the drawback of standalone API clients and how RapidAPI Client for VS Code is solving the problem, followed by how you can install the extension, to breaking down its interface, then testing APIs using the same extension. After this, I'll be teaching you how to generate API call snippets and auto-generating interfaces from API response using RapidAPI Client for VS Code, syncing the projects with cloud, and finally, building an API, testing it locally inside Visual Studio Code Editor, publishing it on RapidAPI Hub using RapidAPI Studio, and monetizing it. I'm actually pretty excited to see what the developers who are going to take this course build using RapidAPI Client for VS Code. So without further ado, let's get started. Drawback of standalone API clients and RapidAPI VS Code client solving the problem. If you are into web development, you would know that most of the work revolves around data and mostly provided by REST API endpoints. There are two ways you consume a REST API. If your application has a server, you would have to write a REST API for it to query server data. The other way is using a public REST API. For this, you can visit RapidAPI Hub, which has over 40,000 plus APIs. Whenever you create your REST API or use an existing one, you must test it to ensure everything is working. You also have to look at the response it brings to build the appropriate user interface. There are multiple ways you can do it. You can write additional code to see the data or paste the API endpoint inside the browser. Although both these methods will work, they are limited in testing and other things. So as we have to leave our VS Code workspace and head over to other API clients to do this testing, there is time lost while opening and setting up these clients, and it hurts the flow of our work. With RapidAPI VS Code extension, now you can test APIs quickly within your VS Code, and we find it to be a significant productivity boost. With this extension, RapidAPI has brought API testing right where you feel at home. The extension has a neat design and covers all the basics of API testing. Here is a quick rundown of its features. Call APIs using a dedicated tab. Test local and online APIs from VS Code. It supports and adapts its design to your VS Code theme. Environment variables. Generate code snippets in multiple languages. Automatically generate types and interfaces in Python, TypeScript, and Swift. I'll be explaining all of this in detail in the later part of the course. So before we start, let's go and install the extension. It's quite straightforward to install RapidAPI Client for VS Code. For that, you need to open your Visual Studio Code Editor and click on the extensions icon on the VS Code sidebar here to open the extensions marketplace. You can also press Command-Shift-X to open it on your Mac, or for Windows, you can use Control-Shift-X. I'm going to click this extensions here and going to type RapidAPI Client in this search bar. Here it is. Now click on the install button. It will take a moment. Afterward, you will see the RapidAPI icon in your VS Code sidebar. Stay with me, folks, to learn more about RapidAPI Client, the VS Code extension.